even before I became a Muslim, I said, ain't nowhere in the world a person could just live his life the way he wants to live his life, and he or she according to what they want to do. And when they drop dead, it's it. They just in eternity asleep. That doesn't make sense to me. So I started trying to research, and I started praying to God, and I started, asking God, if you a God, if there's a God out there, just guide me to the truth. I just want to know what's the truth. So coming back after Pop passed away, a couple months later after that, Gaddafi, he's the brother, right before Pop passed away, as a matter of fact, my grandmother who raised me passed away like 3 months before him. Then Gaddafi, he's the guy who introduced me to Tupac. He got murdered by my cousin. It was an accident about 2 months after Tupac died. Then a couple months after that, I had a brother who committed suicide. So it was like back-to-back deaths. So that really, really opened my heart, man. And I said, man, I need to get it together, man, because people dropping dead left and right around me. And it's funny because one day I was in a recording studio, and I was intoxicated. And I'm telling this to the kids. I'm breaking this down to the kids because I just want to be straight up with y'all. I'm not saying it's like this is the thing to do, that go ahead and get intoxicated. Maybe one day you'll be able to get, when you 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, you can stop drinking and go to Hajj. Because sometimes a lot of us that come from Muslim families, this is what we think. Man, we can have a lot of fun, man. And some coaches, they think Hajj is for old people. Man, I can get drunk now, and when I'm 50, I go to Hajj, and that's it. But we don't never know when the angel of death gonna snatch our soul. So we don't even want to play with that. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to drop dead the day that you try to experience with some drugs or something like that. You don't even know if you're gonna drop dead that day. So I'm trying to tell the kids, don't even play with it. Especially especially all the kids, man, but especially the Muslim kids. So I was in the studio, and I got in a fist fight with my little brother. And it happened to be a Muslim in the studio who broke the fight up. He was in the parking lot of the studio, he broke the fight up. And I remember just having so much anger in me. Like growing up, I had so much anger, but I was like every day, man, I'd just get intoxicated. Wake up the next morning, probably did something that I'm ashamed of, so I run and get drunk again, man. Like, man, I was living a life that I didn't even want to be sober no more. Like, I wanted to stay numb as best to my ability. I said I have to stay numb every day. So the brother who broke the fight up, he talking to me, said, what's your name? I said, Muta, I'm from Jersey. He knows a lot of Muslims in Jersey. He said, are you Muslim? I said, yeah, I'm Muslim. I don't know nothing about Islam. All I knew was about the nation of Islam, and I said I could never be a Muslim because Muslims killed my parents. So when he started talking to me, he said, I'm going to invite you over to the masjid. You come to the masjid. And when I came to the masjid, I seen different people there. I seen the brotherhood that I never seen before. Of course, in the music industry, we all claim that we have brotherhood, but once the money start kicking in, the brotherhood breaks up real easy. So when I seen the brotherhood of the Muslims, I was surprised. And I said, you know what? I want to go home and I want to study Islam more. I'm going to go get the Malcolm X video, and this time I'm going to watch it sober. So I said, I'm going to watch it sober, man. So when I watched it, and when I seen what Malcolm X did when he went to Hajj, and when he came back, and when I noticed that how he exposed the nation of Islam, and I started getting the teachings of the nation of Islam and the teaching of Islam, and I know that there was two different belief systems. I know that Islam teaches you that God is one, that he's the creator of the heavens and the earth, that he's not a male, he's not a female. Nothing in the heavens and the earth is like Allah. There is nothing like God. And Islam, the nation of Islam, was teaching that God is a black man. He walked in Chicago one day, he had a suit on with a bow tie and things like that. It just didn't make sense to me. So I started saying, you know what, I really want to get deep into this. I cannot go say the heck with a whole religion because of what some people did. So the more I started learning about Islam, and the more I started noticing that it was two different religions, that Islam was the truth. Islam, it doesn't preach racism. It doesn't preach worshiping a man. It doesn't preach. It's telling you to pray to God alone who created the heavens and the earth. And it's telling you that he created Adam first, and from Adam he created his wife Eve, and from them two he created countless of generations and numerous of people on the face of the earth. So I said, man, this is just natural. It makes sense. This just makes sense so natural that even though I didn't know too much about it, I said, man, the God that I want to pray to is a verse in Ayatul Kursi, where Allah said that he's the creator of the heavens and the earth, and that he rose over his throne and he created the heavens and the earth, and he feels no fatigue in protecting it. And I remember my grandmother, and being that I was a Christian in the religion, I'm not here to shoot shots at nobody's religion, but the truth is the truth. And I remember in the religion, my grandmother used to say, well, God made the heavens in 6 days, and he took a rest on the 7th day. So even growing up, I said, man, God get tired. It just really didn't make sense to me. So when I read about Islam, when Allah said that he feels no fatigue, that he doesn't get tired. I said, this is the Lord that I want to pray to. A God that when I'm up, I don't want him to be asleep when I'm praying to him. He doesn't get tired. So I started trying to get more into Islam and started reading more about it. And I said, as a matter of fact, I watched the Malcolm X video and I said, I want to go to Hajj. When I seen Malcolm X, I said, Alhamdulillah, I want to go to Hajj. I didn't really know too much about Hajj. I just got up some money and I went to Hajj. And when I was walking down Hajj, I seen two brothers, one of the brothers right here, not to put him on the spot. I knew this brother since I was a kid. I didn't know he was Muslim. I'm walking down the street in Medina University. Brother, his name Abdul Ali, but we know him as Wap, you know what I mean? So when I see him walking down the street, I'm looking at him, and he looking at me, and he said, where you from? I said, Irvington. He said, man, you in the middle of Saudi Arabia. What you mean, Irvington? Nobody know what Irvington is. And next thing I know, he looked at me like, wait a minute. And we clicked from there. I said, man, what you doing out here and things like that. And it was a blessing. And then I ran into another brother that I knew from Gaddafi. His name was, we used to call him Beans. His name was Shadi Muhammad. And when I ran into that brother, he's a student at the University of Medina. It was a blessing because when I ran into these brothers, I didn't know too much the rights of Hajj. They started teaching me the rights of Hajj. They started telling me to do this and do that, man. Literally, it was a blessing because the brothers I was with, they didn't teach me nothing about Hajj. And the books that I was reading, it wasn't authentic. It wasn't authenticity. You know what I mean? It wasn't the truth about how you perform Hajj. So it was a nikmah from Allah that I ran into these brothers. I got excited. I started calling Jersey, putting all my brothers on the phone, like, look who's out here in Medina, Saudi Arabia, and we were soup, you know? So after that, I came back to America, man, and when I tell the people I came back, man, it's a real talk, man, that I felt so good that nothing on the face of the earth never made me feel the way I felt. I really, really thought it was the Zamzam water. I was telling people, man, it's something in that water. It gets you this feeling that nothing in the face of the earth had me that's feeling, man. Wallahi, I thought it was a Zamzam water. I'm talking about to the point I was running it every day. Like, I got to get some more of this, huh? So, alhamdulillah, man, when I came back, I remember the feeling that I had, man, and I started hanging around the wrong people. And I started going back into the recording studio, and eventually, I remember that feeling just disappeared. And I started saying, man, wait a minute, I used to feel so good, man, and all of a sudden that feeling